Hello, Drift fans, and welcome back. We are here at round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras, and it is a beautiful day up here at Autodrome St. Eustache, and I am Jared Deenda. Joining me once again, Ryan Sage. Ryan, we saw some moisture yesterday. Not ideal as it started, but then it dried out, and we saw some phenomenal driving. What do you make of today's event?
Well, I mean, we love coming to Canada. It's great to have our second round here that we've had in the past 2 years. The fans are incredible. It's a great venue, and we're now more than halfway through the season. So the narrative for the championship is certainly starting to coalesce around James Dean. But things can get shaken up, and if any track is going to do it, this is going to be the one.
The fans are out here in droves. They come lining up, and as I was mentioning yesterday, it's kind of like Braveheart. Hold, and the gates open, and they run to their spots. It is quite an event. So talking about yesterday, top 5 qualifying. Let's take a look at our top 5 qualifiers, kicking it off with Chelsea Denofa.
Well, one guy that continues to build as the season goes on is Chelsea Denofa, getting grounded with this vehicle here. It makes some really crazy movements that not a lot of other vehicles do. He looks like he's always on the edge of being out of control, but he holds it together, gets that number 5th qualification, and a good start for him moving on into today's competition where he will have a bye.
I don't know if that was on purpose or not. You said getting grounded as him joining that Von Gittin Team RTR, the Ready to Rock. So talking about our number 4 qualifier, the Norwegian Hammer, Frederick Osbo, making that Rockstar energy drink. Next in tires, Toyota Corolla, Toyota Racing IM, looking strong.
Well, just another day in the office here for Frederick Osbo. What he does best here, goes down, lays down a clean qualifying run. You can expect these kind of runs from him in the lead position. He's obviously fighting for the championship as well. He's got to do well here, but he has past history here of the past 2 rounds. He has been in the winner both times.
Yeah, 2016, 2015, he got the victory. He knows his track, but he's in a new car. Talking about pressure, Justin Pollock got a 0 on his first run. He needed to put a score down just to make it into the top 32, and he goes big. He goes really big. He gets a number 3 qualifying position.
Well, Justin is one of the few guys that's throwing really big angle out there, especially on initiation. It can certainly pay off if you get it done right. It can also bite you. Last year he didn't get the result that he wanted, but he's looking very solid in his vehicle. He wants to get a good result here and finish strong for the second half of the season.
Yeah, if you look at a couple Mustangs here in the top 5. Now, Christoph Bluch, he's looking like he can get a victory. He's looking very strong. Earlier in practice, he got into a tussle with the wall. The wall always wins. He lost a wheel. Hopefully he can get it back together because he is your number 2 qualifier.
Well, Christoph Bluch has basically been everybody's hero this year, from the antics that we saw at Road Atlanta to the great performances early on in the season. He didn't really have the result that he wanted last round, but he's been coming back strong and really staying consistent, looking for a win here. It would be his first in the FD Series.
Yeah, I mean, he is one to watch. Last but not least, it's our current points leader. He is your first time number 1 qualifier. That's James Dean, the machine. He is ready, and he is ready to do battle with any comer.
Well, he hasn't been able to be knocked from the throne really yet, except for early on in the season when Osbo did it briefly. But James Dean has been on top of his game all the way through. He's got incredible speed and grip in that vehicle, but he's got a style that everybody loves. So he's becoming a fan favorite, and certainly a favorite to take the championship if he can remain consistent.
He's just got very consistent placement with the vehicle as well as big angle, and he has just a driving style that could ruin anybody's day. I mean, I would say it mirrors that of Daigo Saito. We're going to continue speaking about James Dean here because it just can't go unnoticed. I mean, he has a steering wheel in his hands. I mean, just a few weeks ago we were at Goodwood at Festival of Speed. Then he goes to Poland. He competes in that. Now he's here. I mean, he's constantly behind the wheel of a drift car. But it all began in Long Beach, and it continued on.
It did. I think he made a big statement in Long Beach, and a lot of people thought, that would be one and done. He came back and showed some incredible driving in Orlando, even though he got beat by Jonathan Castro in what was probably one of the best chase runs we've seen in recent history. And here, the track that started it all for Formula Drift 14 years ago, he comes out and basically mows through everybody, has a final with his fellow countryman, Dean Kearney, and again is back on top of the podium. So he's got 2 wins. Then we get to Wall, and Christoph Bluch is on fire. He had a good position here ending the event. Didn't get the win, but he has been able to stay consistent, and now he's going to come back round number 5 here up at St. Eustache and try to make another point for this international group of fans that we have here in Montreal.
Yeah, it just goes to show he's the real deal. He's a really nice guy. Again, just getting some time with him over in UK, and that was just fun, and he's enjoying it. He's just, as he says, he's just still buzzing. Yeah. I mean, just even from the Long Beach win to Atlanta, and these are tracks that I know he visited last year, and we saw him quite a few years ago, but now he's out for it. And somebody who speaks softly and carries a big stick. I'm talking about an e-brake lever or shift handle. That's Odie Bakshi's. It's a husband and wife team. They got, they've been working with Falcon for some time. Looks like you need all 4 of your tires. But Odie Bakshi's is just slowly becoming just one of the drivers that other drivers fear.
Well, Odie Bakshi's has always been a very talented and dangerous chase driver, but I think last round he really showed between him and his team the epitome of what a workhorse is all about. I mean, this was a guy that was up until 3 o'clock in the morning the night before competition trying to fix his vehicle from that incident that you saw there at the first part of this highlight package. And then he battled through some of the top guys in the series, multiple one more times on a very challenging course. And when he went up against Michael Essa in the finals, his car literally blew up across the finish line.
Yeah.
He would have not have been able to make another run. He got the victory here, reestablished himself as a championship contender, even though he's a little bit on the outside, and just really made a ton of fans this past round by not only the adversity that he was able to overcome, but the way that he did it and with the level of respect that he has for the sport.
I think that's what makes this season just so exciting. As you said, 14 years ago it all began in Atlanta, but here we are now. The progression of the cars, the countries being represented, the diversity, and just the talent. It's any driver, any machine, any team's opportunity to take a victory.
And of course, victory is what every driver is looking for here this evening. And as we look at the current standings, let's talk about the top 10 guys.
James Dean sits out front. Michael Essa, who's going for a second championship. Haven't seen it in a while, but he's back behind the trusty BMW. Frederick Osbo in that new car. He's currently sitting in third. Ryan Turk got into a tussle with the wall, but his team worked feverishly to get it back out here on track. And Odie Bakshi's rounds out the top 5.
Kristaps Blues, hoping to see him in the top 32. He did wreck during practice. Dean Carney in 7th. Vaughn Gittin Jr. sits in 8th. And Matt Kaufman and Alex Hilbrun tied at 174, respectively 9th and 10th place.
All right, so that's a look at the standings. Now we're going to take a look at the Gum Out course preview.
What's up, guys? I'm Ryan Turek. We are here at Formula Drift Canada, Saint Eustache Autodrome, just outside of Montreal. This is actually where I started my competition career back in 2005 at the same exact track. Now we're here with Formula D. I love this place. I love the fans. I'm going to bring you the course preview right now. Launch the start line, first gear. Quick upshift is second, third, fourth. Enter in fourth gear with a handbrake. You want a little bit of angle, probably mid. On the oval turn, up on the wall, but not too close because there's a lot of fingers that want to grab you on that wall, just like New Jersey. So you keep it high and tight. As you exit the oval turn, you want to pour on a little bit of angle. Transition back, still in fourth gear for the first inner clip. Transition really quick right after the first inner clip to the outside wall zone. And you want to drag your bumper on that as long as you possibly can, fill in the entire zone, and then get back on the gas immediately so you stay on track. Nail the next outside zone. Let off the gas, do a little downshift, and then bring it on in on throttle to the second inner clip. You floor it all the way down that straightaway, transition back, and finish strong with a third inner clip on gas. Fans are stoked, track is full of smoke, and hopefully you get the win.
And with that, let's bring in our third member of our commentary team up here in the booth, Ryan Lantain, also acting as a judge and be giving us some information, also being on the mic with us as we go through the. And with that, let's bring in our third member of our commentary team up here in the booth, Ryan Lantain, also acting as a judge and be giving us some information, also being on the mic with us as we go through the top 32 battles. Ryan, yesterday was qualifying. Now what we call kind of the essence of drifting, the head-to-head format. So let's break down today's event format.
Yeah, so they're going to be going head-to-head now. Each car gets a lead, each car gets a chase, and they're going to go out there together. The higher qualifier gets the first run, and then we'll chase the second run. We will then determine a winner, or if we can't find a winner, we will decide on a one more time.
Yesterday, we looked at the track map in terms of where the point allocations and the sectors were. Now let's take a look at the track map and kind of break down the acceleration and deceleration areas, because that is a really important aspect of tandem drifting.
Yeah, so right here, you can see everywhere that's green on that map will be an area where they should be accelerating. They should be on throttle. That doesn't necessarily mean accelerating at a high rate. They could be maintaining throttle, maintaining pace in that area. The red areas will be where they're looking to slow down. You can see at initiation, there'll be a little slow down as they either grab a handbrake or lift a little bit to get the car settled. And then at the touch and go, That's the major area we're looking for them to slow the car down. From then on, they should be back on throttle all the way through to the finish line.
Yesterday, we didn't use the chicane or the lanes really in qualifying because of the weather. This part of competition today, we will have it. So explain to us what the chicane is for and how you guys look at any runs that might need to be called back if a cone gets hit.
So the chicane, as you can see there, it's a bunch of cones that are lined up. The lead driver needs to drive through the chicane, and it's designed in a way that slows them down. They can't go full throttle. So that's going to help us eliminate those drag racing starts that will lead to an uneven acceleration down the straightaway. So as that lead driver gets through there, if he hits a cone, that is considered a strike. If we get 3 strikes, then we're going to have a restart. Or sorry, that driver is going to get a 0. Every restart occurs at an impact, basically, with a cone, or if they leave the light early, if they leave the light late.
Now, each driver has a responsibility, whether they're the lead or the chase. Let's first start with the lead. What are the lead driver's goals or responsibilities?
So yesterday we gave them the perfect line, essentially, that we want to see them run. Today they need to run as close to that line as possible. So the driver that is able in the lead position to drive as close to that line will be at an advantage for that, for doing so. We also want them to run a chaseable lead run, which means minimum amount of mistakes. If they're sloppy and they're kind of all over the place out there, and it's something that the chase driver really doesn't have an opportunity to chase properly, then that would be considered an unchaseable lead run. And then we want them to follow that accel-decel map.
Now, the lead is dictating the pace, but the chase also has some things that he needs to do, some goals and responsibilities. So let's break those down.
Chase driver needs to initiate no later than the lead driver, and here at this track it's the number 1 cone. So if you see on the wall right around initiation, there are 3 cones, 2 cones, and then 1 cone. It's that 1 cone that they need to initiate by. They need to maintain as close as a proximity as they can throughout the entire course, and we're going to look at chase to chase to see who did a better job of maintaining that proximity throughout the entire course. And they want to have the same or better angle throughout the course, and they want to mimic any transitions that lead driver is going to make throughout the track as well.
Now, oftentimes you get into a situation where the lead is making a really big mistake, and it becomes almost impossible for the chase to do anything with that. And it looks like the chase is making mistakes, but oftentimes it's what we call an unchaseable lead. So what does that look like from a judge's perspective?
Generally, an unchaseable lead run is going to probably gather all these unchaseable lead list items right here in one run. So you're going to have a lot of corrections. You're going to be accelerating, decelerating in weird areas on the track, not using that accel-decel map, and then they're not going to be on the proper line. They might have tires off the track multiple times. It's generally a really sloppy run that you can tell the driver's out of control and not really able to get their car where they need it to be.
Now, finally, just as a refresher, style is a really big aspect of drifting, and we use an acronym called IFC. What does that stand for?
So initiation, fluidity, and commitment. You're going to hear us use that IFC acronym a lot. Initiation, you want to be initiated by the latest point on the track that we will allow that. That's that 1 cone on the wall. You want to be initiating quickly, so getting to angle fast, not really doing it in a lazy way. You want to be snappy. Fluidity is how the car moves throughout the course. So how settled it looks, the rotations, are they really smooth? Are there corrections? Or is the driver really holding onto the steering wheel too much and not allowing the car to rotate right? That would be a hit against fluidity. Commitment is how well the drivers are approaching obstacles, such as walls on the track, with confidence, really throwing the car out there, making it look a little bit risky from our perspective. The edge of the track is another area where they can really throw that car right out to the edge of the track where you think, oh, they're going to go off, and then they don't. That's what we're really looking for it to be really aggressive and but in control still.
And then finally, you push it a little bit too far, you go off course, you spin out. We have a list of things that will give a driver what used to be a 0, now called an incomplete. So let's break those down.
Yeah, so these are the ones that are hard and fast on the list that we have to adhere to. So if you spin out completely on the track, that's going to be an incomplete. If you drift in the opposite direction that you should be drifting in any area of the track, that means the car will have angle in the opposite direction, then that'll be an incomplete. Hood, hatch, or trunk, anything latchable on that car. If it opens during the run, that'll be an incomplete as well. Unsportsmanlike contact out on the track, driving into somebody because you're frustrated or angry, whatever it might be, and then an inactive chase, will also be an incomplete run. We also have passing. We have a couple of spots here on the track where passing could occur. If you get passed in a legal passing area, which is at any inside clip, that's an incomplete run.
Well, I think we all hope we see a little bit of that here today. Beautiful day at St. Eustache. Round 5 kicking off here. Right after the break, we're going to get into the top 32 and more action ahead.
Hello, Drift fans. We are live here at St. Eustache, round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. As you can see, it is a beautiful day. We had a couple accidents here on track, including Peter Vincek and Dean Carney, but it's sold out. It's completely sold out. So the fans are eagerly awaiting. But Ryan, there's an update on why we have a little bit of a delay before kicking off our top 32.
Yeah, these the sold out fans here are eagerly waiting the competition to the top 32. We actually got a call from local department officials right outside that there was a big accident between a motorcycle rider and a vehicle, and they requested assistance from all the medics in the surrounding area, including the venue. So the medics that were here that we have, and also the backup medics, those primary medics had to go to the, and that could take 10, potentially 15 minutes or longer. So we're actually waiting to hear from the venue precisely what is going to happen in terms of the time that we can start. If it ends up being an extended delay, we'll probably go ahead and re-air some qualifying for tomorrow, but we'll keep you guys posted as we hear more things. Unfortunately, it sounds like it was a pretty significant incident, so that's why I guess legally they're required to actually go and assist all the medics that are on site there, right outside the venue apparently.
Yeah, and just to clarify, in order for us to proceed, we need medics on site. If there was an incident here on track, we can't just run.
Right.
So that's why they're pulled away. So again, we'll have a short delay here, but again, Ryan, we have the making of a great event. Again, we have 8 buys in total. 8 buys in total. That's from yesterday's qualifying. 24 drivers in total that received scores. And again, the 32 whittled down to the 16.
Well, interesting. Just point of conversation is one of the things that happened during the last few runs of the practice warm-up is Peter Vincek, as you said, went hard into the wall. The car actually might even be totaled, but as weird as it is to have an incident where our medics and the backup medics are being called in or called out to go have an assist, this may actually help Peter because he does need to perform his buy run. That was decided in the drivers' meeting this morning, and this may actually give him time to fix the vehicle if it is fixable at all. He went in pretty hard, and it took quite some time to get the vehicle just onto the rig that you see it on there, the trailer. So hopefully he'll be able to get back on competition. We'll see him in his buy run, and we'll have a really amazing top 32.
Yeah, so as you said, some delays potentially contributing to Peter fixing his vehicle, but it looks like they're just struggling to get the thing off of the flatbed. You can see the damage sustained there on that back right and fiberglass, but probably some deeper rooted issues. So again, just want to give you an update. We are live. A delay due to an accident not on track, but actually just outside on the main road here as you come into St. Eustache. And again, our medics were requested to help out those people, and we can't proceed without medics being on site if there was an incident here on track. So thanks for joining us out here. Round 5 will proceed when we have all the basically necessary safety arrangements. So when we come back, we'll continue. Again, top 32 just around the bend. This is round 5 from St. Eustache, what we call True North of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back. As you can see, Peter Vincek and some talks with Justin Pollock there. So we're live in the pits. It looks like they're thrashing on his vehicle, trying to get it back together. Ryan, again, so as it stands right now, buy runs, they're needed to be made. Sounds like we are getting our safety and our safety back.
Yeah, we heard over the radio call that the ambulance and all of the safety crew is back on their way, so that's a good thing. We'll get top 32 kicked off here in just a few moments. And for Peter, he's got some work to do here because he is the 3rd guy in line. Oof. And you can see the hit there, pretty tough one right-hand side. Now, all he needs to do is show up to the line and show that the car is functional. So he's got that in his side. He doesn't have to do a battle. But, he's got between now and the first 2 battles in order to make that up. And hopefully he doesn't need to call a competition timeout. Now, this was voted on by the drivers to do the open laps, so the buy runs. And, this is one of the outcomes potentially if you go into the wall. You've got that to deal with.
So, yeah, as you said, Peter Vincek would be the 3rd battle if he was to do battle. But it will be a bye run, as you said, voted on by the drivers. They have to complete, show their car is able to run, and also the drivers utilize it as a chance to see how the conditions are on the track. I mean, it's changed from yesterday to today. As you can see, great conditions, you know, some beautiful clouds in the sky, but no rain, no moisture, good wind. It's going to clear out the smoke. But this is a very, would you say it's an unassuming track, Ryan? Because it bears repeating as far as it's not a semicircle. That first sector and second sector making up that half circle, it's not just a perfectly round area. Like, that's why I say it's unassuming.
Well, the bank, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, hardly. I mean, like 10 degrees maybe.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not like Irwindale. It's not like Wall or anything like that. It has some areas where it comes in and it comes out, so it's not a perfect oval. But from the middle section over where the judges actually want to see them go up against the wall, that is pretty fluid. So most guys don't have any problems there. And if you're really only doing what the judges want you to do, you should try to enter at the middle of the bank and then run a smooth line all the way around. Unfortunately for Peter, you push hard in practice. That's what you're trying to mimic, competition conditions, and that can happen.
The Black Magic Intense Tire Wet Spray, that's the first front clip there on the straightaway of the actual just course here, the oval, as you said, Ryan. And it's taken some abuse, and I can only imagine it's going to get some more as the day progresses. We saw some great driving in Formage of Canada. Saw some big hits into the wall there and some good head-to-head battles, but just absolutely ideal conditions. So it's unfortunate. Ryan, when we were off air, we were talking about we've never had anything kind of like this. Again, just the safety and the ambulance being called over to the off-track incident.
Yeah, no, this is first for me for sure. Yeah, they requested assistance, and everybody had to bail. So we were like, now what?
Yeah, right.
And unfortunately, it got done pretty quickly, so we're going to be underway here. But, you know, it was kind of tricky there for a second to figure out what was going on.
All right, so again, just a few more moments, and we'll be back with some head-to-head battles, the top 16, and we're going to have a bye run from James Dean, and then it'll be Yoshihara and Forsberg. So quite a few things going on. Join the conversation. Let us know who's watching out there. Hashtag FD Canada. Hashtag FD Canada. And all right, while you have some time here, why don't you download the Formula Drift app, and you can see all the great features of it. Live scoring, alerts and stats, exclusive content, breaking news alerts, notifications, access to the live stream, buy tickets, fans reward program, exclusive games contest, special video features. Even right now, you can win some drifts wheels or centerline wheels, so download the app now. Seeing also the Blackview dash camera. The pickup won by texting BVMON1 to 38714 for a chance to win a free Blackview dash camera. You and your car connected, must be 18 or over to enter. Retail value of almost nearly $400. So why not just text to win? BVMON for Montreal, the number 1 to 38714. All right. So as we, again, saw Formage of Canada earlier, you didn't see it, but here in person we did. And a driver that's really made a name for himself and flying the Canadian flag is Mark Landerville. Lorette Nickel caught up with him earlier.
Hey, guys, I just wanted a second to catch up with Mark Landerville, 2016 Pro 2 champion. And we haven't seen you all year. You've had quite a few changes from last year.
Yeah, we're mostly doing local events because I got a baby and I need to work at the shop and do all my things here, so I can travel all the United States. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's been quite a journey getting you back here for this round. Take us through that.
Yeah, we work on the car a lot. We did a couple of practice sessions, and the car is fine. It's the first time of the year I drive it, so yeah, it's good.
And do you think that you can be a dark horse out here?
Yeah, for sure. We just did the FD Canada round, so I have a little bit more practice than the other guy, and yeah, it can be a good one.
Okay. Well, Mark, best of luck today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Guys?
Thank you, Lorette, and thank you, Mr. Landerville. As you can see, it looks like all the safety and crew getting in their respective positions, and we should be seeing a bye run from James Dean momentarily. Ryan talking about you know, the standings and everything. So we'll continue here when we come back. So again, we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll be seeing top 32 upon us, or top 24 in this instance, as we're going to have a few bye runs when we come back here at St. Eustache. All right, well, welcome back. As you can see, we have a Wordhouse drifting vehicle on the start line on Falcon Tires. That's our current points leader and our Black Magic #1 qualifier award winner. That is James Dean. So Ryan, James Dean gets his first ever #1 qualifying position. That's a great place for him to be, especially given that he is our current points leader.
Yes, indeed. He's in a very strong position right now, and he has lived up to all the expectations that were put upon him at the beginning of the year. Has not faltered very much when he's gone out. He's gone out in a fantastic way in competition. Again, keep recalling back that head-to-head matchup, the chase of the year potentially by Jonathan Castro. But James Dean is circling the wagons right now of the other drivers in the series and looking very strong here. But we still have 3 more rounds to go after this, so we're not quite home just yet. We've got a ways to go. And don't forget, we're in the back cave.
Yeah, yesterday got a little wacky here as we are in the back cave. Let's see, James Dean. Here we go. So James Dean, Wordhouse Drift Team Falcon Tires. This is Byron. This is an automatic advancement into the top 16. So having his way with the course here, making sure everything is up to snuff. But he is, again, your #1 qualifier. You can see him getting intimate with the wall, past that first front clip. An absolute bluebird day here. James Dean making some clouds of his own. Some are off in the distance, big angle. Look at that, just nasty transition and across the finish line. I mean, just really showing you why he's your #1 qualifier. He even coordinated his vehicle with the gator strips there, the red, white, and blue.
It's a little extra for you.
He's a Wordhouse. He's mighty, just letting it all hang out.
You gotta do it in.
What are you looking at, Lantain? Don't mock mine. Are you jealous?
Can you do that in an Irish accent?
He's a Wordhouse. He's mighty. That was bad. That was terrible. All right, so we are expecting our first battle, and this is Dai Yoshihara against 3-time defending Formula Drift champion, and so 4 championships between the 2 drivers. Yoshihara and Forsberg is to come to the start line. And as you can see, many battles. Both these guys, 2 Formula Drift veterans since 2004. And you can see Forsberg winning 8 over Dai Yoshihara 6. High winning percentage, very close, 61 compared to 68%. Yeah, again, thank you for your patience here, as kind of an interesting start here, seeing some of the dialogue and the hashtag FD Canada there on the tag board. So seeing some of the conversation. All right, so Dai Yoshihara will lead. He qualified 16th compared to Forsberg just behind him in 17th. Let's see our first official battle here. Quite a bit of time between from when we were supposed to start, but you know, we do have the bye run, so that will help expedite the top 32 action. And through the start chicane goes Dai Yoshihara. Forsberg going to drop into formation. Let's see how this turn 14 distribution Falcon Tires BRZ does. Initiates. Forsberg on the door, about a car length between, now gaining some ground. Big angle from Dai Yoshihara. Forsberg keeping good proximity. Great transition from Dai Yoshihara past that first front clip, that Black Magic Intense front clip. Forsberg just tucking into formation now through the center portion of the track. There is the smoke signal. That's where it's going to come into play as Forsberg knocks out that final front clip. Dai Yoshihara does not.
Jared, our first battle of the afternoon. Dai starts off with a nice initiation. Remember, the judges want to see the drivers get into that wall about midway through. It's a good angle by Dai. Coming off the bank, then transitioning pretty smoothly into that first inside clip. Now you can see as he enters the zone, he does a good job getting in early, leaving at the right time. Chris is trying to put the pressure on here. Good angle by Dai as he wraps around. This is a solid lead run from Dai overall. You can see the difference in angle there between him and Chris through that last section there. So Now Chris knows what he needs to do in his lead run here, and he still needs to keep the pressure on Chris. We don't often see two champions going up against each other in the top 32, so this is a very big battle for these guys for ranking and for the time that they're going to spend on air here on the live stream and TV and all that stuff. So very important battle here to make it out of the top 32.
Yeah, I mean, too, very, so just, and that's just another testimonial to just how high caliber these drivers are and how aggressive everybody is putting it out there. Here we go, Forsberg out front, Dio Shihara, boom, right there. See Forsberg turn on the smoke screen. Dio Shihara, great mimicking of the angle. Look at Dio Shihara, the baby blue shadow mirroring Chris Forsberg into that second outer zone. Goes both the drivers. Now coming to that second front clip, the Black Magic Intense tire clip, just getting nudged out of the way by the 370Z nose. Around that final clip goes Forsberg and Yoshihara. Ryan, walk us through it again, if you will.
So a good battle on hands here. Forsberg initiates Dai, immediately trying to close the door. Good angle by Forsberg as he heads towards the bank here. You can see great proximity by Daijiro Yoshihara trying to mimic Chris out front through this first inside clip. Nice job by Chris. Great transition back around to get out to that touch and go into that second outer zone. Dai keeping it close here. Nice job by Chris on that first inside clip. Daijiro through the smoke cloud. One more push towards the end. Just bumping that last inside clip. So a good battle overall between these two competitors, and the judges have their hands full.
All right, so as these two veterans, champions of the sport await which one is going out in the 32, and taking a look at the standings, Dai Yoshihara is currently 11th in the standings, and Chris Forsberg is currently 13th. So both these drivers, trying to forge something here together and advance on. But again, one of these guys getting knocked out fairly early considering what's going on. So, or are they going one more time? Chris Forsberg, Dai Yoshihara, slide him left for Forsberg, right for Dai Yoshihara. Dai Yoshihara gets the victory and advances on, taking out the three-time and defending champion. So Chris Forsberg knocked out early in 32. Now he's going to cheer on his teammate of Ryan Turk. So again, an update from Lorette Nickel, who's down in the pits. Lorette?
Thank you so much. I'm in the pits. I'm in Peter's pit, and as you can see, there's the team behind me just bashing on this car, trying to get it back in order. Now, as you guys know, there are 8 buy runs. In the drivers' meeting today, the officials asked, do you want to skip the buy runs? Some of the drivers raised their hands, and it was noted that we are going to move forward with the buy runs. Because of that, Peter has to go to the line. Because he suffered a mechanical on the track, he now has to do a 5-minute timeout. The clock is running here, and the team now has about 4 minutes to get the car back on track. Guys?
Thank you, Lorette. And yeah, just again, so Peter was to be our next run, but he can't pull to the line, has to call his competition timeout. You have one and only one of those. So Peter Vincic could, he qualified great yesterday, earned the buy run, but now he could potentially take himself out as he hit that wall.
And just to give context, we originally were not going to do the buy runs, but the drivers requested that we do the buy runs because they wanted practicing conditions that were going to be as close to competition conditions. All 8 of the buy run drivers wanted to do it, and so we moved forward with that, and now it's looking like it may bite Peter.
All right, so right now it's Odi Bakshi's, Robin Ishida on track. Odi Bakshi's out front in that Falcon Tires S14. Nice job there. That Jerry Yang Achilles radial GTR there of Robin Ishida, the Bushido blade. Looks like he's getting that thing really working out, but is it enough to take down a very proven S chassis of Odi Bakshi's? He's got a lot of seat time as Nishida overshoots that final clip and goes on the wrong side of the finish line cones.
Well, it's a good start here from Nishida. He actually gave a little bit of breathing room here to Odie, or Odie actually got a little bit of distance on Nishida on the bank here. Nishida starts to reel him in as we come into this first inside clip. You can see Odie out front, very smooth transition, does reach out to that touch and go with great angle, doesn't have to pull any angle out, and that's really what the judges want to see. And then right here, as Nishida starts to really put the pressure on Odie, you can see he pushes a little bit too hard here and goes off course. So that's going to be an incomplete for Robbie Nishida. Now he's got nothing to lose in this next run, so he's going to push as hard as he possibly can, but he's got a pretty big deficit to overcome.
All right, so as Ryan Lontaine started out the show, we have 4 members of our broadcast team here. Lontaine, it seemed that Robbie Nishida went off there right before the finish line.
Yeah, he didn't really time his transition very well, it looked like. As he came from inside clip 2 to inside clip 3, might have been a little bit smoke blind as well, and the car carried out really wide, ended up going 4 wheels off before the cone. So that's going to be an incomplete for him.
Yeah, here it is again, incomplete run, boom, yeah. Right there. That's before the finish line.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to be an incomplete for Robbie, and like you said, he has nothing to lose now. He's going to have to push really hard in the lead and hope that Odie makes a mistake that's just as sizable in his chase run.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate, because it seems like that GTR, and look, you could see Peter Vincic, he is suited and booted, but is his car able to be hitting the ground?
This looks like a lost cause here, to be honest. I mean, it's still up on jacks. There's no angst from the team. You see a little bit of sighing from the team.
I mean, you could see that.
And just a little bit of disappointment also just showing right off the screen there. And it's an unfortunate turn of events. And it's sad because Peter has really been, climbing through the ranks and doing better every single event. And unfortunately, this is going to come back and bite him and will be the end of the day for him.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for the Polish driver. And you could see Dean Carney and Peter thanking his team for the work. You even see Justin Pollock over there trying to help out, or just a vote of confidence. These guys all on Falcon tires. So the Falcon tire teammates, just unfortunate for Peter, especially since he qualified high. I mean, he had a qualifying position of 8th, best qualifying we've seen from him this year. So again, taking a look at our previous run. And here is Odie and Nishida. So the judges taking a good look at this between Bakshis and Nishida.
And you can see here Nishida managed to gain proximity without really making too many compromises in the chase position. Right here just ended up, yeah, he did hit him.
Oh yeah, there was contact. So that's kind of insult to injury. I mean, that was Robbie in the back. So I mean, just with Robbie going off course, that's already, again, insult to injury. Ryan, so they're really digesting with the contact.
Well, yeah, because there was a collision, they need to assert fault here, and that is why they're looking at these replays, because they want to see whether or not if somebody needs a competition timeout, it will determine who actually gets the opportunity to use it without having it go away versus actually having to use it and having it go away out of your allotment. So you can see Robbie there hitting Odie, and the judges are going to have to assert whether or not it was Odie's fault or whether it was Nishida's fault.
So if you look right now, you see that all the smoke stops coming off the back of Odie's car, and this is an Excel area. He should be on throttle right now, and Robbie, it looks like, sort of sacrificed himself to avoid hitting Odie in this area. There should be smoke coming off the tires. He should have been on throttle in that area. You can see here that he's clearly not at all, and Robbie lifts and tries to avoid hitting him, but unfortunately just makes a quick tap. But again, sacrifices himself in a way by throwing the car off the track to avoid maybe a bigger contact with Odie. So It looks like we're going to be putting the fault on Odie for that one, for not staying on throttle where he's supposed to. And that's something that we designed the Excel decel map to help those chase drivers know where they can expect the lead driver to be slowing down. Otherwise, we could have lead drivers either making mistakes, as I would believe that Odie just did. Either it's a mechanical or he actually made a mistake, or trying to play games by slowing down in areas where they're not supposed to.
Wow, so that's a big turn of events there for Robbie Nishida. Now with Odie having the fault there, so that basically means that I mean, Robbie can fix his car, but does that throw, Ryan? Does that change up kind of the verdict essentially, or the kind of the needle which way it goes?
At this point, it would, yeah, because originally we'd given Nishida 4 wheels off, an incomplete for going off the track there. Now, if it's deemed to be the other driver's fault, in this case is what we have established, that Bakshis was at fault for that, then the fault would go to Bakshis. He would maybe not get a full incomplete for that, but Nishida would be excused, if you will, for going off the track there, as it wasn't his fault. He was trying to avoid, a major contact that could have taken them both out.
Wow. Okay. So a major shift in momentum there for Robbie Nishida from 4 wheels off, and then after further review, he's pardoned that, and now he pretty much has an advantage with Odie slowing down considerably. So we are advancing on. It is a buy run. This is a buy run from Frederick Osbo, Norwegian Hammer, Rockstar Energy Drink, Nexen Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota Corolla IM. Here comes Frederick Osbo, who will advance on to the top 16. So this is when it plays out properly. Unfortunately for Peter, he wanted, a go at this course in these ideal conditions. It's dry, there's no more wet, the sun is out. This is, again, as you said, Ryan, true to form from what the drivers saw from yesterday even to earlier today. So Frederick Osbo rips through the course. That means he advances on to the top 16. And what's interesting for Peter, so Peter Vincek, he'll be out.
It'll be interesting for the winner of Bakshis and Nishida.
They're in the 8. The winner of Bakshis and Nishida will go straight to the 8. Wow. Okay, so Osbo advances on. Next up, we'll have Hamilton and Essa. Or we'll revisit the second half of Nishida and Odie. So, no, it looks like it is Hamilton and Juku Racing Hankook Tires. So, Hamilton and Essa, these guys have not seen competition against each other. Seen some of the tag boards here. Pretty funny. All right, so Hamilton and Essa. Again, see the winning percentage there. Hamilton pretty low there compared to Michael Essa, but high horsepower vehicles from both of them. Hamilton, the turbocharged V8. Seeing diverse fans. People cheering on, looks like Kodrin, Minia Kodrin, cheering on Chelsea Denofa, Rebecca Frank. Excited about Forsberg getting knocked out and Dio Shihara advancing on as Mike Essa pulls up to the start line. So Nate Hamilton qualified 13th compared to Michael Essa's 20th, and Essa really having another run towards a championship. I say another because he did have a previous championship run. All right, so Hamilton out front in Juku Racing, S13.4, and the BMW Essa Autosports Achilles radial of Michael Essa chasing him down. All right, here we go. Hamilton initiates. Mike Essa in tow, now into that outer zone. Sector 1, Sector 2, here he comes. Hamilton, great composure, past the first front clip. Into the second, here goes Hamilton and Essa. Hamilton not getting all the way out there, and Essa some wavering there in the chase position. Now approaching that final front clip for Hamilton and Essa. A full pull for both of them. Ryan, take a look at this again. Anything stand out to you?
Well, here we go one more time. Nate Hamilton, nice initiation here. You can see Michael Essa trying to close the door right out of the gate. Start off with a little bit less angle there. Nice job by Nate filling that zone. Pressure by Michael Essa as they come into this first inside clip here. And then out to the touch and go. Great job by Nate. Essa looking for an opportunity to attack as they leave outer zone number 2. Essa falls back for a second. Nate Hamilton around this last inside clip. And Michael Essa right there with them.
All right, let's see if Essa is going to put it down out front. He's going to be in the lead position. Hamilton chasing him down. The winner will advance on and do battle with Frederick Osbo. All right, so all right, could see old Ryan Davis here and Lauren down there, all the media ready. Snap some shots, get some content. Here we go. Michael Essa, Nate Hamilton. Essa initiating. Wow, really tight to that wall. Already out of the gate, taps it. Shreds that back bumper once, twice. 3 times in Essa. Look at that. Nate Hamilton getting tight. Wow, Michael, what is that? Oh, the tire is off. There is no tire on that back right wheel. Michael Essa continues through the course, looking like a rally car, doing everything necessary.
The fans are
the fans
crazy.
are going bonkers here in Montreal. Wow, Michael Essa just getting into that wall, tapping it once, twice. Oh, man.
Well, probably what happened is he probably debeated a tire on the initial wall hit or the subsequent one. Now, we talked about this a lot, Jared, about how that wall is just not perfectly smooth at the beginning. Now, here's the first tap right here. Boom. The second one's going to come right here. Watch, the wall sticks out right there. You see? And that probably caused the tire to come off and get loose like that. Now, he has no wheel or no tire on at all right now. He's basically driving with just grip in the left rear. Extremely slow, very hard to chase, but Michael Essa, a true champion, stays in it. Now, I don't really see how he can win this battle because the tire is off, but certainly this is going to create a lot of fans for Michael Essa as he powers through it, even with only one wheel in the rear position. So incredible job to keep it exciting for the fans.
Yeah, would that be, I mean, you know, referencing the rules, that an incomplete run? And we've seen drivers lose their tires in the chase position, but in the lead, it becomes, I mean, quite
the only
an
reason
obstacle.
I don't mean that he'll lose a run because the tire came off. If the tire came off in run number 1, he would definitely be done because that would be basically under the deep beating. The judges will judge the run as it is, but I think because of how slow he was going, it almost becomes an unchaseable lead, even as exciting as it was.
Right. So again, the winner advancing on, going against that of Frederick Osbo, who's moving on. Nate Hamilton advances on Little Tex, going against Frederick Osbo. Again, Nate Hamilton in Juku Racing. And unfortunately, Mike Essa just pushes too hard, but it's what you need to do. I mean, that was a pretty interesting turn of events there for Michael Essa. You saw him get into the wall. So Ryan Lontaine here with some dialogue. What do you got?
We were very impressed with the way that Nate initially got really, really close right on initiation. Through the 2 wall taps, Nate stayed right there, despite the fact that Essa was kind of bobbling and going all over. And then coming through here when the tire came off, he stuck right with them all the way through. Now, Nate did a great job of mimicking and staying close to Mike Essa, but still you'd have to almost put Mike Essa's lead into the unchaseable realm when you've got, look at the huge mark throughout the track. He was going really slow. The car was kind of, it was in drift, but not in the way that we'd hope it would be. He was offline, so it was a little bit messy on his part, but managed to keep the car in drift despite having only 3 tires on the car, which was pretty impressive.
Yeah, no, he kept on it. Like I said, you know, in rally they'll kind of do anything necessary, and that's what it seemed like to me, but not the case. So a very difficult lead run to follow. So we have Chelsea Denofa. He has a bye run. Again, as you can see some of the stats there, 28, originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Lived all across the country, now residing in the Pacific Northwest. But him and his BC Racing Nitto tires, a Ford Performance Mustang RTR. Got the Ford Roush Yates power plant under the hood. Saw he has a new steering wheel. Got pizza slices in the middle of it. So hopefully that brings some good luck. PBK Creations painting him up some sweet new. He's got a new lid, got a Speed Racer helmet, and got a pizza steering wheel. Say howdy, get rowdy, Chelsea Denofa. Solo bye run here for him. Lights up the Nitto tires. Good opportunity for him to see what the track looks like. Some clean air, nobody chasing him. Shaking down the car. And Chelsea Denofa with that bye run will advance on into the top 16. All right, so remember we have a second half of the Bakshis and Nishida. So Robbie and Odie, the second half of that battle. As you could see, track cleared, ready to go. See the second half of the Odie and Robbie battle. Cars are in the box.
So just to go back to it, Jared, as we have Nishida and Odie coming up for run number 2. We have the fault for contact going to Odie Bakshis. There's 2 areas on this course that the judges have designated, obviously with driver input, about where the acceleration deceleration areas are. The only 2 deceleration areas are on initiation and by the touch and go, which is after inside clip number 1. So when Robbie came in and made contact with Odie, the judges were looking back at the replay and could see that there was no smoke being generated and that the tires had dropped in their RPM from about the center point of after inside clip number 2 to inside clip number 3. So they gave fault to Odie Bakshis for that. Robbie had ample time to fix his vehicle, and then Odie needs to come back to the line. So we'll have Odie Bakshis at fault, Robbie Nishida taking the lead, and Odie having to chase him down. And then they'll take a look at this second run, and we'll find out whether or not we have a victor.
All right, so second half of this battle, Nishida out front. Shredded that front bumper. And Bakshis will chase him down. All right, looks like we are ready to send cars. Nishida, Jerry Yang Racing, Achilles Radial GTR, and Odie, that Falcon Tires S chassis, chasing him down. See how Robbie initiates, see if he can get an advancement here. Nice job. Robbie initiates. Odie Bakshis getting to the door of Robbie's Achilles Radial vehicle. Good transition for both the guys. Robbie pouring it on, really hammering down, but cannot shake Odie Bakshis. Odie, he really needs to apply the pressure because he does have, you know, as the judges said, they deemed fault to Nishida. So the needle pointing towards, sorry, deeming fault to Odie, excuse me, and then giving an advantage to Nishida. Thank you for the clarification.
Well, we've already seen a pretty crazy top 32. Michael S. number 2 in points, out in top 32. James Dean moving forward, and potentially another championship contender here of Odie Bakshis going out. You can see Nishida, pretty decent job in the lead. He's going to make a pretty sizable mistake through the last corner here, but overall, Odie kept pressure on him throughout the entirety of the course. You can see right there, Nishida a bit wide on that last inside clip. He's got Sansa front bumper there, sustained some damage going off the course after that collision with Odie Bakshis, and now we wait for the judges' results, and we are now about halfway through. Here we go.
Slide him left for Nishida, slide him right for Odie, and Robbie Nishida gets the win and advances on. So Ryan, that shakes things up after a rock solid performance in New Jersey for Odie. An early retirement here in 32, so some big names already getting knocked out. You know, Peter Vincek, you got Forsberg knocked out, and now Odi Bakshis. And Mike Essa too. I mean, look at that. I mean, Mike Essa, he was in a run for the championship as well. I mean, he was second in points. That's a huge shock to the system, man.
Yeah, no doubt. This only bodes well for James Dean at this point, because your other contenders are basically outside the top 5. You have Blush and Gittin that are just on the outside. There's still opportunity for them, obviously, but Essa going out early, and Forsberg, obviously, for him, a big loss there. So we're seeing some things start to.
It's good for Osbo.
Definitely,
Osbo,
yeah, definitely good for Osbo. Osbo hanging in there, and for Nishida, this is going to be his first Grade 8 berth, and all he had to do was win one
32.
battle.
Oh my goodness, yeah, look at that. So also now our next battle, we have that of Mark Landerville, Perry Performance Center, Pink Paradise, S14 going against Kyle Mohan. He wants to send a shout out to his grandma, as she's always been a big part of his program. So as she's not 100% right now. So Kyle Mohan, he's chasing him down, chasing down Mark Landerville. A lot of smoke. Holy cow! My goodness, look at all the smoke as Mohan in the drop top rotary MX-5. Landerville, excuse me, very familiar with this course. He's seen some success here quite a bit. Man, there is a ton of smoke on that first outer zone.
Well, Kyle Mohan doesn't get the greatest jump out of the gate here, and you can see he pays a little bit of a price for it. We will see some mistakes from Landerville out front, though. He doesn't really fill the first outer zone completely. Can't really say he's running away, but he kind of does the same thing here on outer zone number 2. Does get out to the touch and go, but you can see right there he does not really fill that second outer zone. The judges want to see you run that white line to that yellow cone and then leave and draw a nice smooth arc into that second inside clip. So it's a decent run for Landerville, because Mohan wasn't able to really keep up with them, but Landerville will get some deductions there for not really filling outer zone 1 or outer zone 2.
All right, so let's see. So again, Kyle Mohan texted me this morning, said he wanted to give a shout out to his grandma. She's in the hospital right now. She's always been a big part of his race program. So shout out to, I don't know if it's Grandma Mohan or just say Kyle's grandma. He wanted to give a shout out to her. She's always been a big part of Kyle. And Kyle's been a long-time Formula Drift veteran, piloting his Mazda Tricks, built to Apex, Top 1 oil, Nexen tires. The only rotary out here in competition in the Formula Drift Championship. Okay, so look at that. Fans watching all the way from France, Honey Gaming PS4. As now Kyle Mohan will lead. Mark Landerville will give chase. And clear to send. Here we go. Send it. Kyle Mohan, Landerville. Second half of this battle. Some widely exposed Nexen tires up front as Landerville very comfortable, but then has to shore up, loses some ground and goes on the inside. Mohan standing on the throttle. Look at that. Great job by Mohan out front. Working it to that second outer zone. Ryan, it seems that Kyle did the opposite of what Landerville did. He really filled that outer zone. And now Landerville falling back quite a bit. So Landerville on the struggle bus there.
Well, it looks like Landerville probably had the better of the chase runs, but Mohan has a really solid lead run here, so it'll be interesting to see how the judges digest all this. You can see Mohan gets an early jump, filling that first outer zone. Doesn't fill it completely, but probably did it a little bit better than Landerville. Nice job on that first inside clip. Let's see how he does on the touch and go. Decent job there on the touch and go. Gets a little bit deeper than Landerville in the second outer zone. On that third hash mark on that second inside clip. Nice transition here. And then you can see the separation towards the end as Mohan throttles through the finish line. Landerville back quite a few car lengths. So and the judges basically are taking a look at both leads, comparing them, both chases, comparing them, and then which driver did better overall.
Man, loving the pack stands, the fans right there in the mix. Oh, that's I'm seeing the BMW of Christophe Bluch show up underneath the stands, and that's good for him. As you know, we saw Peter Vincek get into the wall, unable to fix his vehicle, but Christophe's got in early enough, or did damage to his vehicle earlier than Peter did, so he had time to work on his vehicle and get it back up and running. So waiting for the outcome of Mohan and Landerville. Very interesting battle here for both of them. Slide him left for Mohan, slide him right for Landerville, and it looks like Andy says Landerville, Brian and Ryan say one more time. They're going at it again. So it's a one more time battle. They are going at it again. So you can see the fans cheering on. I mean, this is essentially America versus Canada right now. And Kyle Mohan from Long Beach, California, and Landerville flying the Maple Leaf. He's doing double duty. He competes in Formula Drift Canada as well as here in the Formula Drift Pro Championship. As Lorette said, 2016 Formula Drift Pro 2 champion. Really focusing on staying here in Canada, competing at Formula Drift Canada. So Christophe Bluch under the bleachers. All right, so Bluch with a bye run, qualified second, and I think he's one to watch, Ryan. I think this track favors him really well. His car has a mean amount of horsepower, can really power through that center section. What's either going to help him or hurt him is that first and second sector making up that outer zone. All right, so see the angle there. Wow, see, look at this thing, just power on deck. Mass Motorsports V8 under the hood, providing the power. Achilles radial, providing the smoke, the grip, and the slip. Look at that, just dancing with the track edge. Wow, it's a bye run. Chill out, bro. Christophe Bluch, what am I supposed to do? Drive like baby? Is that what I do?
If he dies, he dies.
What's that from?
That's Rocky.
Yeah. I will crush him. Finish him. I was thinking more Karate Kid. Put him in a body bag, Johnny. All right, so Christophe Bluch. Yeah, maybe we need some more organic Oreos, dude. When the fudge kicks in.
Today we got peanut butter.
Peanut butter Oreos?
No, just peanut butter cookies.
Just a thing of peanut butter?
Yeah, I got a jar.
Here you go. Oh, thanks, Todd. You got a few snacks. The snack attack is on. Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. You're putting your soft-dried Turkish apricots right in front of the screen, dude. Bon chance on me. Kangushi, bring home the win. Go James Dean, says Miss Baby JSJE. Sarita Vanderleer. All right, so looks like Lorette Nickel caught up with Dean Carnage Carney, who lived up to his name earlier today.
Dean Kearney standing next to me, team working real hard on the car. What's going on out here?
Yeah, we broke a final drive on the second to last turn. Something this car never does. We broke one in 6 years. So it's a bit of a disaster. We run a standard actual pumpkin in the back with different internals because it's so strong and does not fail really. So it was quite unusual. We did, however, last night, just look as have it, we had a spare one that was disassembled and we just assembled it actually last night for no reason at all. We were just here and trying to pass time, so I'm super glad they did. But we are going to be cutting it close to get this back together and try to get back out for our top 32 battle.
Dean, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean. Good luck to you and your team and the Oracle Light and Achilles Radial Dodge Viper. Hopefully we'll see it out here on track. And thank you, Lorette Nickel, and contributing to Down in the Pits as we are seeing Matt Kaufman.
Now this is going to be a fun battle.
What do we got? What do we got? Who's oh, Honda and Kaufman. These guys are homies. I mean, they've been traveling this year. They've teamed up. They're essentially teammates. And you know, this should be a fun one. These guys get after it.
Yeah.
Both of them love purple. Two young strapping gentlemen. Who do you think could win in a fist fight between these two dudes?
I think Kaufman would probably have like you know, some venom or like some pepper spray, you know. Honadel might be more kind of like.
Honadel's more spry.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah. I think Kaufman would bite him.
Yeah.
I think Kaufman would just go for it. Just bite him square, bite his ear off. All right, here we go. Matt Kaufman, Alec Honadel. This is going to be a fun one to watch. Here we go. Kaufman initiating that Ford V8 S13. Honadel. Oh boy, dancing with the devil here. Oh, Honadel saying what's up. What's up, dude? Past that first front clip. Oh boy, Honadel getting phased. Kaufman, big angle there into that second front clip. Honadel now gaining some ground. Tucked in, going off muscle memory. Big, massive angle there. And Honadel goes off course, but it looked like it was after the finish line. We'll clarify that again. Ryan, what do you see?
Well, I mean, the battle started off very competitive. You can see right here, Honadel eyeing him up, gets super close. Kaufman deep into that second out, or that first outer zone rather. Right here, probably some rubbing coming out of the first outer zone. Kaufman nice and tight on that inside clip. Now watch here on the touch and go. Honadel's just going to go a little bit too long there. He's going to lose some ground. He has to tighten up his angle to get forward, to get straight, and try to gain ground to Matt Kaufman. And then through the finish line here, you're going to see Honadel's going to go off course just right, hitting that finish line cone. He dropped 2 tires there. Should be a little bit of a deduction, but really coming out of the touch and go was the biggest mistake there, I think, from Alec Honadel.
All right, well, it sounds like the fans are hyped here. It looks like, okay, Kaufman is pulling to the start line. Looks like fans getting hyped, getting some swag, getting some shirts, getting some gear. But looks like Honadel out of his car, so he's calling a competition timeout. Unfortunately for him, bummer for Honadel. So it looks like Honadel and Kaufman, they're having some words. So you could see right there, it looks like Honadel will call a competition timeout and 5 minutes of work on it. So yeah, you could see Honadel, the all white, the Diddy kit. As again, so if you haven't seen them already, the Takata wallets, the Takata signature, Takata green Formula Drift wallets. Find yours at TakataRacing.com. They're autographed by a bevy of the Takata sponsored drivers, including Frederick Osbo, Chris Forsberg, Mad Mike Wadette, Ryan Turk, Matt Field. So check them out. Go to TakataRacing.com. Also, during the halftime of the Centerline booth, go to Chelsea DeNofa autograph session at the Centerline Alloy Wheels, brought to you by ATDWheels.com. Pilot of that vehicle. So you can see the fans applauding. Alec Honadel call a competition timeout. See if we can get him back out here. Take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue here with top 32, round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back. As we saw Alec Honadel getting his car on the flatbed, you can see Honadel and Kaufman. And again, as I said, these guys are teammates, and it looks like Kaufman and, you know, they share some mechanics. So Kaufman's team is actually going to get some hands on Honadel's vehicle. They want to run the best possible competition possible. So it seems that Kaufman and his team are going to get on the car as well.
Yeah, not often you see this in professional motorsports.
Right.
That's kind of one of the cool things about it.
So win a set of wheels as run by Chelsea DeNofa, Centerline Alloy Wheels. How? Well, tag a photo of you watching this weekend's event, hashtag FDCenterline17, and enter to win a free set of Centerline muscle car wheels, courtesy of ATDWheels.com and Centerline Alloy Wheels. Again, hashtag FDCenterline. If you watching Formula Drift this weekend, and you could win a set of Centerline wheels. Win a set of drifts, hardcore wheels for the street, as run by Odie Bakshis. How? Well, hashtag FDDrift17, FDDRIFZ17. Enter to win a free set of drifts wheels, courtesy of ATDWheels.com and drifts, hardcore wheels for the street. could see, so a lot of these vehicles having a hard time going up and off this flatbed. You could see the degree of angle, so the car's bottoming out. So Honadale having some issues there. So we'll get the car off and see if it's ready to run. Ryan, we have a few more battles still. Wanted to see. So, all right, so next up we'll be seeing Matt Field in his bye run. So we'll take a short break. We'll see what transpires here. Again, a competition timeout called. When we come back, we'll see Matt Field in his bye run. Man, some bad luck striking here for Alec Honadale, trying to get his car back together. Him and his Big Country Labs wing-shrouded vehicle, as Matt Field now will have his bye run. Matt Field qualified 7th. It's one of those top 8 spots that allowed him to have a bye run.
Very precise horsepower from Matt Field. 1,063.
No more, no less. Somebody wanted to hear a Scottish accent, Ryan.
That's tough. I think you could do it.
Lantain can do it.
Oh, yeah, Lantain can do it.
You do your Scottish accent real quick. So we can see Alec Honadale had some word from his spotter, but Ryan Lantain, what do you see over there, the Scottish Ryan Lantain?
Oh, it's a great day for motorcar racing. That's it.
That was solid.
Yeah, that was really good.
I know.
That sounded like.
All right, so here we go. Matt Field, his bye run, the Falcon tires, Drift Cave, S14.5. And again, this is a bye run, so. Having his way with the course, the Beast from the Bay will advance on with that bye run. He will go against the winner of our next battle, Dean Carney, Jeff Jones. You could see Honadale working on the vehicle, thrashing on it. Him and his team. But the clock is ticking. Only a few minutes left there for Kaufman, or excuse me, for Honadale. If he is not able to fix it, Kaufman would advance on. So yeah, that left rear. Yeah, it went off track there at the finish, and it looks like that caused some damage. So Matt Kaufman. So we are seeing, all right, so letting both the vehicles change tires, but as you can see there, our race official, 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes. I don't think it's going to be enough time for Honadale. So yesterday, Alec Honadale got into the wall, shredded and exploded his Big Country Labs wing. So the Fix Your Fuel Urban Air Initiative. So there's Dean Carney. Good for Dean and his Oracle Lighting, Achilles Radial, Bridges Racing, Dodge Viper team. Dean Carney, Jeff Jones. These guys, wow, I'm surprised. These guys have never seen battle against each other. You can see Dean Carney really coming to life over the past few years, as has Jeff Jones. So Dean Carney, Jeff Jones. Want to send a happy birthday to Mark Williams. Mark Williams, Ryan's Ebisu buddy in Australia. So he's down under. So happy birthday, Mark Williams, buddy. All right, so Carney, Jones on the start line. The winner to go against Matt Field. Dean Carney, another one of the drivers that was at Goodwood Festival Speed, a fantastic event. Had some good times, making some memories out there on and off track. Jeff Jones, supercharged V8. Here we go. Dean Carney out front. Jeff Jones needs to allow Dean to get out front. Initiating. goes Dean Jones. Tucked in right there. Great smoke. Good angle from Dean. Using the whole course. Can Jeff Jones hang in there? Dean almost getting out there. Jeff Jones, oh, looks like he's making his way off course, knocks over the cone. Other than creating a gap between him and Dean, didn't sustain too much damage, but that is quite a drop-off. I tell you, it's very deceiving until you see a car actually go off course there. It's quite a curb. So, and that's the last 10 seconds. That's going to be all she wrote for the Honda team. You see tires drop, Honda out of the car. That's going to be all she wrote. You could see the Kaufman and Honda team as they've been traveling throughout the year together. That's going to be it, unfortunately, for Honda and his next entire Fix Your Fuel Hoonigan S14. So he'll congratulate Kaufman. Kaufman will run, but bummer for these guys. But as you can see, give him 5. And Kaufman will finish out the second portion of that battle. If we take a look at the replay here of Carney and Jones. Great job by Carney. Really great angle from him. Jones gaining the proximity, but you can see some separation. Carney going past that first front clip right here. Now watch Jones. Look at him. Ooh, goes off course. Gets back on after dropping that back bumper. But Carney, good execution out front. Yeah, we still have one more time between Landerville and Mohan that we have to revisit. All right, so Jones out front. Jones out front and Carney in the chase position. And away they go. Jones, Doc X, hand-cooked tires, S14. See what kind of strategy Dean plays here. Looks like he's potentially giving him too much room as Jones doing exactly what he needs to do. Great angle from Jones. Bring the outer zone, quickly hits it and quits it. Into that second front clip, middle portion of the track. One more front clip to go. Jones does a nice job, just barely kisses it and knocks it over. Ryan, is that enough after that first run where Jones kind of went off course there? Is that enough?
Well, we'll take a look at it here and see. You can see that, like you said, Dean does give him a little bit of room. Jones does not fill that first outer zone, however, though. And then Dean sees that he's probably a little bit too far away, gets on the throttle, uses some of the grip out of that vehicle to try to close the door. Here's Jones heading out to outer zone number 2. Leaves that zone way early. Wraps around the second inside clip. Kind of a slow transition here. Doesn't really fully engage that last turn into that final inside clip and through the finish line. So now we go to the judges and await the verdict between Jones and Kearney.
All right, so slide him left for Jones, slide him right for Carney. And Dean Carney gets the victory after he gets his car back together. Unfortunate for Jeff Jones, but keep your head high, man. Love Jeff Jones' tenacity. Dean Carney, him and his team, hat tip to him. The Achilles Radio, Oracle Lighting, Dodge Viper, Bridges Racing. It advances on. So congratulations to Dean Carney. He'll move on. So Dean will be doing battle against Matt Field. That should be a fun one to watch. Now we're going back to the one more time of Landerville and Kyle the Menace Mohan. So Landerville, I'm you know, surprised. I figured he would just be on the back bumper of Mohan, but Mohan did a really good job in that lead position. See what kind of notes the spotters have taken, what strategy they're going to use, and how they're going to drive and place the car. So Landerville will lead in this one more time battle. Are we going to have a winner? We'll find out as the lone rotary in competition of Kyle Mohan. Shout out to his grandma. Hope she gets better as she's currently in the hospital. So Kyle, I want to send a message to you and thank you for all your support, Grandma. Landerville out front. Kyle Mohan giving chase. All right, so the local driver, Mark Landerville, Canada versus USA, rotary versus piston. Landerville into that first outer zone. Doesn't get all the way out there. I'm kind of surprised. He knows his track very well. Great angle. Really exciting. Just hammering down. Liking the style as far as the placement. Again, just a quick hit it and quit. It doesn't stay consistently out there on that second outer zone, nor the first, as really pulling away from Mohan. Oh, and Mohan. That is not the direction you want to go. Man, Mohan got a little sketchy there. Did a rod break or something? Or
well, that was a pretty similar lead run from Landerville when you compare it to the first battle. I thought he did a little bit better job on that second outer zone, stayed in the zone a little bit longer, but we see the gap established here. Mohan playing catch up. Nice job by Landerville on that first inside clip. He gets out to the touch and go, gets into the second outer zone for a little bit, still leaves a little bit early though. I'd like to see him fill that zone a little bit more completely, but as we come through this final turn here, watch in the background as Mohan goes out of view and then into view, he goes off course. So that's going to be an incomplete for Kyle Mohan, and now he'll be sitting on a pretty sizable deficit. I see him going back to the pre-grid, which tells me what you might have been suspecting, Jared, was that there's probably some sort of mechanical damage that caused that incident. So unfortunately for Kyle Mohan, well, actually, no, he's turning right back around. Maybe he just made a mistake, or maybe there is a mechanical, but he's going through with it. Either way, looks like he is going back to the line. He's not using a competition timeout.
Kyle Mohan back up in the mix. Throwing some cameras on for Formula Drift on CBS Sports. Many different ways and perspectives to check out the Formula Drift action, either in the building, on the stream, on CBS Sports, all the respective different medias and different outlets across the globe. Again, thank you for joining us. We are live, St. Eustache, next entire top 32. We are way more than halfway. We have this battle and two buy runs and 2 battles. And that will complete top 32. Even with the delay, we should be back on schedule. Knock on something here. As Kyle Mohan will lead. Landerville giving chase. This is the one more time battle. Are we going to have a victor? Here we go. Landerville gaining some ground. Mohan nice and deep on that outer zone for the MX-5. Transitions past the front clip. Landerville with an early transition. Like what Mohan's doing here. Really deep on that second outer zone. Could have been tighter to that front clip. Some line deduction there as Landerville knocks it over. Right, I liked Mohan's lead run.
Yeah, again, Mohan charging forward pretty solidly here in his lead run. Again, he kind of gets into the zone a little bit early, and that caused him to leave the zone a little bit early, but he's deeper than Landerville, I think, in that first outer zone. Good transition back around. He's nice and tight on that first inside clip. Doesn't get as deep into the touch and go as Landerville. Landerville keeping pretty close distance on him here, and that may be the difference overall, but it's a nice solid lead from Kyle Mohan as he comes around this last inside clip. Great job there out front. So Mohan in the lead position does pretty good job.
Slide him left for Mohan, right for Landerville, and Mark Landerville gets the win. Landerville advances on Kyle Mohan, the built Apex Mazda Tricks top one. Next entire MX-5 knocked out, but the Perry Performance Center, Pink Paradise, Achilles Radial S chassis advances on as Kyle Mohan rocking some burnouts there. Again, shout out to his grandma. Hope she feels better soon. And the Mohan family. Again, just a great day, Ryan, from contrast from yesterday to today. The fans are out here. It's sold out. You know, a sign was put up by Alan, the track owner, and it's cool. It's great.
Yeah, I absolutely love it up here. The fans are incredible. I wish people that are watching from the live stream can understand, you know, what it's like to be here. You know, you've got camping going on. When we leave tonight, there'll be guys and girls.
Party.
out there with bonfires and their trailers and their campers, having a good time to wee hours of the morning, and it's just an amazing place to be.
Yeah, it's a party. All right, so as we said, and you saw earlier, if maybe you didn't, Alec Honadale had to call a competition timeout. He went off course, damaged that back left corner. Kaufman and Honadale's team working on Honadale's car. Just want to put on a battle. These guys are friends off track, but when it comes to a competition, no holds barred. But unfortunately, Honadale could not fix his vehicle, so that means with Kaufman turning and burning here in this run, that means Matt Kaufman, World War Kaufman, advances on the 959 Ford-powered S chassis from the Pacific Northwest, will advance on from Medford, Oregon, into the top 16. So Kaufman will advance on. He's going to be going against Christoph Bluch. That should be an exciting one to watch. I just really like when Kaufman is on. He's just really fun to watch. It seems like he's having fun and he's just firing.
Well, he had a really good event here last year.
Yeah,
nearly made the podium. So he seems to love this track. And Kaufman went on a bit of a tear the second half of the season here and also in Seattle. So, you know, he's looking forward to a good second half of the season, and obviously his performance is showing that right now. So best of luck to him as he goes into the top 16. 2 more battles to go, Jared. We got Jonathan Castro going up against Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Ken Gucci taking on Pat Gooden after the Ryan Turk bye. So it's a pretty interesting top 16 lineup here.
Yeah, I mean, take a look at the 16. Well, you know, Robin Ishida, he won't have to do battle against Peter Vincek because he had to retire. But we have James Dean going against Dai Yoshihara. Where's your kind of needle lie?
You know, obviously the momentum's in Dean's corner, but I think obviously for Yoshihara, having taken out Forsberg and in a strong battle there, you know, he's going to have some confidence going up against Dean, and he's got a point to make. So he's going to, I think it's going to be a good battle. Yeah,
all right, so we'll revisit this as we're seeing JTP. So Justin Pollock, he qualified 3rd yesterday, so that gives him a spot where he doesn't have to run in 32, gets a bye run, but knowing Justin Pollock, he's going to hang it out there. He's really going to see how the track feels, and right now it's looking like he's very comfortable. This Roush Performance Ford Performance Mustang. You can see some wavering there, but I think just testing the boundaries, testing the limits of the Falcon tires and of the vehicle. Really known for the snappy transitions. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it does not. So again, the rest of the 16. So we have Dean and Yoshihara, and then Robin Ishida, he gets a bye run. He'll advance onto the 8. Then Osbo and Hamilton. That should be a fun one. Frederick Osbo and Nate Hamilton.
Yeah, that'll be great. I mean, Frederick Osbo had so much success here, but Nate Hamilton's looking very strong. He's been having some great performances throughout the weekend in practice, and he's got that victory in the top 32, so he's looking good.
And then we have Chelsea Denofa, Mark Landerville. We thought Landerville was going to be more dominant than he was. He had to go one more time against Mohan, and the way Denofa is driving, he looks unstoppable. He's you know, Landerville's got a tough opponent there in Chelsea Denofa.
No doubt about it. Yeah, Denofa is, I think as soon as he clicks 100% in that vehicle, it's going to be a rough day for anybody that goes up against him. And we've seen some moments of just pure brilliance from him in his qualifications and also in his battles. I think he's just waiting for that one little piece to click in, and he's going to be off to the races. Yep. He's going to be, no doubt, a championship contender.
Well, speaking of Chelsea Denofa, he's part of the RTR team, the 2 Mustangs from the Team RTR of Vaughn Gittin Jr. as he pulls up to do battle against Jonathan Castro and Vaughn Gittin Jr. The Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR is going against Jonathan Castro. Jordo Metodam, Nexen Tires, Toyota Racing, Toyota GT86 from Dominican Republic. So Castro actually qualifying higher than Vaughn Gittin Jr. Castro qualifying 14th compared to Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s 19th. On his second run yesterday, that thing just had so much grip. He could not get it to slide out to the outer zone. I'm sure from yesterday to practice to today, they've definitely modified the car. So here we go. Let's see how wacky and wild it gets on the 3-wheel motion here. Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s car, you can see it ready for liftoff, hunting down Jonathan Castro. Great job by Castro up front, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. in tow. Past that first front clip goes Castro. Now transitioning into the second outer zone. Castro could see it nice and settled, really low. You see Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s car just bouncing around there. Very loose setup in comparison. You can really just see the difference of these vehicles. I mean, two very different schools of thought. You know, the Papadakis racing team, you know, taking Frederick Osbo to the championship, and now the way these Ford Mustangs are driving, very interesting.
It's really interesting how much Vaughn's car is bouncing around back there. I mean, three-wheel motion here. Castro doesn't really fill this first outer zone. Vaughn's able to stick with him on the bank, but great job by Castro getting out to this touch and go here. Vaughn trying to circle around on the inside, close that distance if he can. Castro fills that second outer zone pretty well. Nice job on that second inside flip. Now moving back around about a car length's distance right there as Castro just nixed that last inside clip. So pretty good lead run from Jonathan Castro. Probably could have filled that first outer zone a little bit better, but did a great job on the second half of the course. Now Vaughn is going to have to take the lead against Jonathan Castro. Castro will chase him down, try to keep the pressure on, and we know that when Castro is on, he can keep the pressure on.
All right, here we go. Vaughn out front. Jonathan Castro in the chase position. Castro with just an unbelievable run against James Dean earlier this year, so he's not phased when push comes to shove. And talking about shoving, Castro knocking on the door of the Ford Mustang of Vaughn Gittin Jr. has to back off. Vaughn Gittin Jr. staying out long and strong on that outer zone. Look at that front left wheel lifting. You could tuck that GT86 underneath, but Castro, a lot of rubber exchange there. And that didn't look just like a love tap. That was a hate tap, letting his presence felt. Let's look at this again. Ryan, take a look at the review.
Oh, you can see remnants of Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s
I don't
tire.
know. Was there contact? I don't know. I don't think. Let's go. Let's roll the tape.
Watch this right here. They're going to make contact one time. Now, look at Castro's car. You're going to already see the wheel mark there. Now, he has to back off a little bit, and he starts gaining proximity once we get into this first inside clip. Now through this center section, now there is a decel area there, but not here. Just a little bit of a transition, and Castro makes contact with them. So the judges will have to make an interpretation on the collision here. That did stop the run. Castro, obviously the aggressor, pushing hard all the way through, made that mistake on initiation by pushing just a little bit too hard, and there is a decel area there. Now you can see Gittin's got plenty of smoke in the vehicle.
Yeah, seemed that Vaughn was really on it. I mean, Castro, he knew who he's going against. You know, that's a whole different vehicle than previous years that Vaughn Gittin Jr.'s driven, and he's been quoted as saying, "I can drive the car the way I want to drive it," and he's known to be aggressive. Sometimes, you know, over the years, Vaughn has beaten himself versus him getting beaten. And you know, when he won the championship in 2010, just seems like everything was in line. The car build, the setup, and they're just really developing these Ford Mustangs. And I think it's benefited them that they have two of these Ford Mustangs, you know, in Chelsea and Vaughn behind the wheel.
Well, we're going to find out, you know, who's at fault here, obviously, because there's going to be a victor. My gut is telling me that it was on Castro. You could really see that there was no punctuation in Vaughn's smoke line there, and that's always an indication of whether or not you're on or off throttle. I think it's going to be on Castro.
Slide him left for Vaughn Gittin Jr., slide him right for Castro, and Vaughn Gittin Jr. in the Monster Energy Nitto Tire Ford Performance Mustang RTR advances on. So Vaughn Gittin Jr., one of the Drift Alliance members, moves on into the top 16. Just saw somebody make the comment of, where's Ryan Turk? Well, here he is. He's up next. You can see him underneath the bleachers. Ryan Turk has a bye run. He qualified 6th, and he went hard. All right, so Ryan Turk in the Gum Out Toyota Racing Nameless Performance Toyota GT86 on hand-cooked tires. So Ryan Turk, again, from New Hampshire, qualified 6th. Took it hard into the wall on his second qualifying run, but according to social media and talking to him, car's back together, should be dialed, he's ready to go, had ample time, but isn't enough, you know, had practice. He will have a bye run here and advances on to the top 16. He goes against the winner of our next and final battle of the top 32. And the 2JZ Power looks like it's back up to snuff. Whoa! And just as I say that, stands on it. Wow, it just looked cool, if it's any consolation. The fans erupting into applause here as Ryan Turk wraps around the final clip, and the bronze 1552s wrapped in hand-cooked tires go round, and you'll see them again in top 16 against the winner of our next and final battle, Ken Gushi or Pat Gooden. And again, talking about a championship run, so taking a look at the points and the standings overall. James Dean, he's still in it. Michael Essa, right? Essa is out, so he was second in points. He's out. Frederick Osbo is in. Ryan Turk sits in fourth, and then Odie Bakshis, who was in fifth, he got knocked out. So man, some interesting turn of events here. Christoph Blush, he's in. Dean Carney, Von Gittin Jr., Matt Kaufman. So, you know, as you said, Ryan, we're over the hump, but there's still, let's call it what it is. We got, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got four rounds left, including this one. So Ken Gushi, Pat Gooden, these guys have never seen battle against each other. I'm surprised at that. So Gushi has had a series of bad luck. Pat Gooden, he's one of those drivers. He, as you said, Ryan, you saw him yesterday. He was a little under the weather. Saw him at the drivers' meeting last night, taking some supplements and some powders, trying to get better.
Yeah, he was definitely dragging when I saw him at the convenience mart yesterday morning, and last night I think he went. I saw him in the elevator as well.
I think he's stalking.
Yeah. Ryan, help me.
Yeah. Help, Ryan, help. I'm Pat Gooden. I want to be your friend. Friends till the end. I can make you Goodener.
I'll find you.
All right, Ken Gushi will lead. Pat Gooden will give chase. Our final battle, the top 32. And local time is 6:10 p.m., just an FYI. So if you're referencing the schedules online, we will have a halftime break. So again, it's 6:10 p.m. Our opening ceremonies begin at 8 o'clock. So again, 8 o'clock is when our live stream will be back on. Again, opening ceremonies at 8 o'clock. So just under 2 hours. But again, we still have this battle. Ken Gushi, Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden has the proximity, not mimicking the angle, but now Ken Gushi pouring some more angle, more smoke off those Nexen tires. Past the first front clip, and the judges stand as they peer down at the second outer zone. Pat Gooden struggling to get to that outer zone, and Gushi out front, just clean run, overshooting the final clip, are both the drivers actually.
So final run of the top 32, Ken Gushi versus Pat Gooden. Gooden pushing forward, has to pull a little bit of angle out of the car as he closed the door on Gushi. Gushi right here, good angle, deep into that first outer zone, leaves at the right time. Nice smooth transition back around, hits that first inside clip, really accelerates here, causes him to leave the second outer zone a tiny bit early. Doesn't fill it all the way, but decent job there. And then on that second inside clip, real smooth, a little bit long on that last one, but you can see that gap established there. Pat Gooden playing catch up through the last section of the course. Now we'll switch things up. Pat Gooden goes to the lead. Ken Gushi will chase him down.
All right, Pat Gooden will now lead. Ken Gushi will give chase. All right, so as our final battle, see if we have a victor. Again, going against Ryan Turk. Will it be an all GT86 battle? Pat Gooden will lead. Ken Gushi giving chase. The gum out. Black Magic Intense hand-cooked tires, S13. Pennzoil on the front bumper. Here comes Goosh. Boost Brigade, Gretty Performance, Nexen tires. Toyota Racing GT86. Some wavering there from Gushi in that chase position. Interesting approach here from both the guys. Now Gushi gaining ground, getting close to Gooden. Nice job by Gooden out front. Nice aggressive flick by Pat out front. Let's look at this again. It was interesting. I mean, neither of them were flawless on that first outer zone.
You can see kind of a slight double initiation there for Pat Gooden. Not really noticeable. He's able to kind of stay in it. Gucci right here does not really follow Pat out of the zone of number 1, but then he's able to get back on it here through the touch and go into that second outer zone here. I think the saving grace, if he gets this victory for Ken Gucci, will be the duration of proximity throughout the course. Whereas we saw Pat kind of fall off towards the end, but it's a pretty solid lead run from Pat Gooden here. And now the judges will have some work to do as we wrap up our last battle of the afternoon.
Again, local time 6:15. We're back on 8 p.m. local time. Do we have a winner here? Either Pat Gooden or Ken Gucci. All right, so again, a sold-out crowd here. St. Eustache, thank you for tuning in. Our final battle is here, round 5, the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. I'm Jared Dienda. Ryan, on behalf of Ryan Sage, Ryan Lantain, and Lorette Nickel. Slide him left for Gooden, slide him right for Ken Gucci. And Andy says Ken Gucci. Brian and Ryan say one more time, and one more time. They're going at it again. So one more time battle between these guys. So one more time battle. So we will get some fresh tires underneath these vehicles. Hancooks and Nexons. So again, it is not over just yet. So we will see a one more time battle between these guys. Pat Gooden, Ken Gucci, excuse me. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, our final battle. Hopefully, as we'll get a winner there. But again, when we come back, we'll see Gooden and Gucci go at it again here at St. Eustache. Round 5 of the Formula Drift Black Magic Pro Championship, presented by Blackview Dash Cameras. Welcome back. We have one more battle, but our own Lorette Nickel caught up with a driver we're going to be seeing in the top 16. Has a very signature style, the former champion of Vaughn Gittin Jr.
Congratulations to Vaughn Gittin Jr. Moving on, and Vaughn, you told me that there were some adjustments that the team has made from last round to today, and you also had a little bit of a bumpy start yesterday. So walk us through the changes that you've experienced.
Sure, yeah. Well, for this event, we brought back my longtime, he's my longtime spotter, crew chief, our engineer, and kind of the brains behind a lot of the engineering on our cars, Ian Stewart. For the last 10 years, he's been in my radio, but the last 2, he's kind of been supporting us from afar, and my best friend Eric's been my spotter. It's been working great, but Ian's come back now for this round, the next couple rounds, to kind of help us reel things in a bit. A lot of changes going on, new driver, more mechanics, things like that, and it's just we needed a little bit. He was some of that glue, and we felt we were missing it, so I suckered him off the couch. And he's here supporting us as well, just as a technical advisor role and an overall lead engineer role, which has been great. The weekend's been tough for myself. We've been doing a lot of work with Chelsea and getting him adjusted to the car this weekend, and I've been kind of the guinea pig on setup and getting the car dialed kind of transferring that. And we got a bit too far. And when the temperature dropped yesterday, 30 degrees from practice, we went, and then we had all the rain. And then our last qualifying run, it dried up, and it just made a unbelievable difference in the car. I couldn't even get out to the line. I could barely drive the car without going straight. So I got a really horrible qualifier, which is always a bummer for confidence. And leading first, you always want to lead. You always want to lead first and chase second. Whereas when you qualify low, you end up chasing first. So it's all good, though. We've come from the back before, and I'm just really pumped at how everything's going. Really pumped to see Chelsea taking his own in his RTR. And, we're just, we're a happy team down here right now. We just battled Castro, epic battle. I was all over him on the lead, and I felt him during the chase, but he got a little aggressive in outer zone, too. Made some contact. I tried to drive out of it, but it wasn't happening. So, unfortunately, he hit me and knocked himself out, but I'm pumped to be moving on to top 16. Rematch battle with Justin Pollock.
Yep, yeah. All right. Well, best of luck. Thank you so much, Vaughn.
Thank you.
Welcome back. As you can see, clouds in the sky and clouds here on the track. Our cars are back in the box warming up their tires, and that means we are seeing Ken Gucci and Pat Gooden for this final battle. Ken Gucci on the start. He will lead on this one more time battle against Pat Gooden. And there is Pat, passionate Pat, chasing him down, and so the judges not seeing a definitive winner. Let's see what we got. See if we got a standout moment from either of these guys. Gucci out front. Gooden giving chase. Again, after this, we will take a break. We're back out here at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. local time. And here comes Gucci. Gucci and Gooden. Ken Gucci initiating, nice job. Pat Gooden, you can see him wavering, gaining some ground. Now Ken leaving it, sticking it to the wall. Good flick and transition past the first front clip. Ken Gucci not all the way out to that white line, but Pat Gooden not in frame. Ken Gucci ripping across the center portion. Pat Gooden dipping a hand-cooked tire in the dirt, going off track a little bit there. Ryan Sage, Ryan Lantain, let's look at this again.
Well, this time Ken Gucci, I think, probably had a better lead than the first battle. He definitely got deeper into this first outer zone, and you can see he's got good angle coming off that first outer zone. Really snappy through that first inside clip. But again, like you said, Jared, he doesn't completely fill that second outer zone. He's pretty close to it, but not completely filling it. It doesn't really make too much of a difference when you compare the chase run here of Pat Gooden. Pat was really far back, and Gucci obviously wasn't running away from him. He just didn't get out to that second outer zone as best as you possibly could. I mean, that probably would have been an 83 or 84 qualifying lap for Ken Gucci. But now Pat Gooden has got some work to do here, because Gucci is certainly going to stay on him all the way through the course. So he's going to have to hope for, you know, an 85 or higher qualifying run in order to make this a battle that pushes to a one more time.
All right, so. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, bother. Ryan, got an update? Got a competition timeout. We got a competition timeout called from going to the officials, Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden calls a competition timeout. So 5-minute allotment. We'll see if he makes it back up here. What happened, we do not know. We will find out. But again, download the Formula Drift app for not only seeing, winning, doing, but also buying tickets. Let's see you at future rounds of the Formula Drift Championship. We still have Texas, Seattle, and Irwindale left of the 2017 championship. Who's going to get the overall victory? We'll find out. But download the Formula Drift app today and get all the info and win some goods. And win a Blackview dash camera. Text BVMON1 to 38714 for a chance to win a free Blackview dash camera. Must be 18 or over to enter. Retail value $379. So it looks like we're seeing Pat Gooden's team work on the car. You can see, looks like the suspension having some issues there. Forsberg's team working on it. There's some of Forsberg's team members, I should say. You can see Pat out of the car. It's like he's all right, so we got a few different hands on Pat Gooden's car. He's got 5 minutes, a competition timeout, making sure everything's okay as Pat Gooden putting his arm restraints on. Let's see if he can get it back together. Again, now less than 5 minutes. Can Pat Gooden bring it back up and do battle with Gucci, or is Ken Gucci going to advance on when we return? All right, when we come, or not when we come back, we are back, and we are seeing Pat Gooden. It looks like less than 2 minutes there on the official's phone. Man, look at those dirty hands Kevin's got there. He works hard.
Looks like he's in good position here. Car's running. He doesn't seem to be stressing out too much. I don't think he's going to miss the competition timeout. But whatever his team needed to do there to make adjustments, he's got to go back out and catch the second half with Ken Gucci, which is always a little, I guess, stressing.
Yeah.
You know, waiting there.
Nerve-wracking.
It's so much easier when you can take that adrenaline right after run number 1, go right into run number 2. Now you've had a couple minutes to basically let things settle down. Adrenaline goes down. You got to rehype yourself back up. And now you got to go do the tough job of chasing down your competitor.
All right, so 1 minute, 12 seconds. Looks like Pat is strapping on his helmet. His teammate back of the vehicle there. All right, looks like they were just trying to keep the car cool while he's idling, but looks like he's good to go. And there it is. So he will be pulling up to the start line, and we will be seeing the second half of this battle between Gucci and Gooden. Again, it's going to be a beautiful evening here. See the fans. So the fans come here. They're wood bleachers, but they bring their chairs, post up, locked it in, dude. They ain't going anywhere. So some real hardcore drift fans. A lot of drift history here at this St. Eustache, as you call it, Irwindale of the North, House of Drift. All right. There you see the Rain-X weather forecast, or current standings, 83 degrees, clear skies, 10% chance of rain. And yeah, it's a great day. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
It is a great day. Cookies, Oreos, peanut butter, everything. It's a great day for anything.
Snack attack. I mean, are you going to get some poutine during the break?
Nah, it's too much. Too much. Oh, too much bloating.
Too much power. Poutine power. I might get some poutine. How does poutine make you feel?
It makes me hungry.
I didn't get any meat. I didn't have any poutine. Brian's quoting The Hobbit. All right, so here we go. The second half of this battle of Ken Gucci, Pat Gooden. Pat Gooden will now be out front. Ken Gucci giving chase. Our final battle. Are they going one more time? Are we going to have a definitive winner? You can see the fans look like they've already made their way into the pit area, meeting and greeting their favorite drivers, teams, and seeing the cars. Here we go. Pat Gooden, Ken Gucci. Second half of this battle. Pat Gooden. Oh, look at Goosh. Riding easy into the door, getting close. Let's see the transition here. Nice job by Pat. A little off of it, but aggressive driving. Gets out to the outer zone. Pretty similar line to Gucci in his lead run. Nice execution on that second to last front clip and around that final clipping zone or clipping point. Ryan is, you know, what do you think? Do we have a winner?
Well, I think Ken certainly corrected the mistake that he had coming out of outer zone 1 on this battle, and clearly the difference here between the chase run by Gooden and the chase run by Gucci is the proximity and the duration of proximity from Ken Gucci pretty much the entirety of the course, especially right here coming into the second inside clip. Gucci's really going to press hard down. He's going to come through the smoke line right next to the rear bumper of Pat Gooden, and I think that's going to solidify the win here in the 32.
All right, let's take a look as Gucci and Gooden await. Again, thank you for joining us here. Slide him left for Gooden, right for Gucci. And Ken Gucci, the OG, gets the win. Formula Drift veteran advances on. Pat Gooden, Black Magic Intense, hand-cooked tires. Pennzoil S13 gets knocked out. But the Granny Performance Toyota Racing Toyota GT86 on Nexen tires advances on into the top 16. On behalf of Loren Nickel, down on the ground, Ryan Sage up here in the booth, and Ryan Lantain, and our judges, Andy Yen, Brian Egger. Thank you for joining us out here.